Did you know that a single strand of spaghetti goes through at least 7 different steps before it reaches your plate? Every bite of spaghetti carries with it a story of careful crafting and precision. In this video, we'll uncover the secrets behind how a simple grain of wheat transforms into a delicious dish. The journey of spaghetti begins in sprawling golden fields of durum wheat, the key ingredient that gives pasta its unique firmness and texture. Durum wheat is ideal for spaghetti because of its high protein and gluten content, which helps create that perfect al dente bite we all love. But before any of that can happen, the wheat must be harvested, and timing is everything. Farmers monitor the wheat fields closely, paying attention to the color and hardness of the grains. When the wheat reaches just the right shade of golden brown and the kernels are firm to the touch, it's time to harvest. Modern harvesting machinery steps in, cutting, cleaning, and threshing the wheat in one smooth process. These machines not only speed up the harvest, but also ensure the quality of each grain. Once harvested, the grains are carefully loaded into large trucks for transport. These trucks are specially designed to keep the wheat secure and uncontaminated during transit. After the truck is fully loaded, they head directly to the processing facilities. The first step is to ensure the quality of the arriving wheat. This is where technology meets tradition. A robotic arm collects a sample of grain directly from the truck. These samples are then tested for key factors like protein content and moisture levels. Once approved, the wheat is unloaded into massive ground storage units. These storage areas are designed with precision to protect the grains from moisture, pests, and extreme temperatures. This storage period also allows the grain to stabilize before it's sent to the milling process. With the wheat carefully stored and quality approved, the next step is transforming it into semolina, the coarse, high-protein flour that forms the foundation of all great pasta. This process begins with cleaning the grains. Advanced cleaning systems remove impurities like stones, husks, and dust using a combination of sieves, magnets, and air currents to ensure only pure wheat kernels proceed. Once cleaned, the wheat is conditioned for milling. Moisture is carefully added to the grains to soften the tough outer bran layer, while keeping the endosperm, the starchy core, intact. This moisture conditioning allows the grain to separate more easily during milling, improving both efficiency and quality. The milling process then begins, where the wheat is passed through a series of roller mills. The first set of rollers cracks the wheat open, splitting the kernel into coarse chunks. Subsequent passes through finer rollers gradually reduce the size of these pieces. At each stage, the particles are sifted using vibrating screens, separating the coarse bran and germ from the finer endosperm. The goal is to achieve particles of about 0.2 to 0.3 millimeters in size, fine enough for mixing, but still coarse enough to maintain semolina's characteristic texture. In total, the wheat may pass through as many as 10 different sets of rollers, each calibrated to apply just the right amount of pressure. This gradual reduction process prevents overheating or crushing the grain too finely, which could affect the semolina's quality. By the end of the process, the bran and germ have been completely separated, leaving behind a golden granular semolina that's rich in protein and ideal for pasta making. But even at this stage, quality control is paramount. Samples of semolina are taken from the production line and sent to the factory lab for rigorous testing. Technicians measure the protein content, gluten strength, and granularity of the flour, ensuring it meets the standards required for consistent pasta production. Once the semolina passes these tests, it's stored in temperature-controlled silos, ready for the next stage. With the semolina flour ready, the next step in the spaghetti-making journey is to create the dough. Surprisingly, making pasta dough is quite simple when it comes to ingredients, just semolina and water. However, getting the perfect consistency requires both skill and precision, and specialized machines are employed to achieve it. The process begins by mixing the semolina with water in large industrial mixers, slowly adding water to achieve just the right texture. Because too much water and the dough becomes sticky too little and it won't bind properly. The flour-to-water ratio is carefully calculated to ensure the dough is elastic but firm, a key factor for spaghetti that holds up during cooking. Once the ingredients are blended, the dough enters a kneading phase. Here, large kneading machines work the dough, stretching and folding it repeatedly. This kneading process is essential as it develops the gluten network in the dough, giving it the strength and elasticity needed for the pasta to hold its shape and texture. Without this step, spaghetti would be too brittle and break easily. The mixing and kneading process is crucial because it gives spaghetti its resilience and ensures that each strand will cook evenly and have that satisfying chewy texture that makes pasta so enjoyable. Now, after the dough is perfected, it's time to shape it into the familiar, long, thin strands of spaghetti. This transformation from a simple dough into elegant pasta is where the true artistry begins. With the dough perfectly kneaded, it's now time for it to take on its iconic spaghetti form. This transformation happens through a process called extrusion, where the dough is pressed through specially designed metal molds called dies. These dies have circular openings that are precisely engineered to create spaghetti strands of uniform thickness and length. The extrusion machines operate under high pressure to push the dense dough through the dies. This pressure ensures that the dough flows smoothly for maintaining a consistent texture in each strand. The quality of the dies is crucial here. They're often made from bronze or Teflon. Each material gives the pasta a slightly different surface, like bronze dies create a rougher texture which helps sauces cling better, while Teflon dies produce a smoother, glossier pasta. Premium spaghetti is typically made using bronze dies for its superior, sauce-absorbing qualities. Interestingly, different pasta shapes are created using a variety of dies in the same extrusion process. For spaghetti, the circular openings are key, but for penne, macaroni, or fusilli, the dies are designed with unique patterns and grooves. As the dough emerges from the dies, it is immediately cut to standard lengths. For traditional spaghetti, this is typically around 10 inches, although the exact size may vary based on brand or regional preferences. After cutting, the strands are carefully handled to maintain their iconic long, thin shape. Some production lines hang the strands on rods, while others lay them flat in trays. Both methods are designed to prevent tangling or deformation before drying. To ensure the strands don't stick together, a fine layer of semolina or starch is dusted onto the surface. This acts as a protective barrier to ensuring the spaghetti's smooth flow through the production line. Advanced conveyor systems then transport the freshly extruded spaghetti to the next stage, keeping each strand perfectly aligned. Once the spaghetti strands are shaped, they enter one of the most crucial stages of production, drying. Freshly extruded spaghetti contains a significant amount of moisture, and this moisture could cause the pasta to spoil. So, the drying process is essential because it not only extends the pasta's shelf life, but also preserves its structure and texture. In a controlled drying room, the spaghetti is carefully dried for several hours. The temperature and humidity are meticulously managed to ensure that the pasta dries evenly without cracking or becoming brittle. The drying process usually involves gradually lowering the temperature, allowing the moisture within the pasta to evaporate slowly. For premium pasta, this can take up to 24 hours, as a slower drying process tends to yield better flavor and texture. Now, just one more step remains for the spaghetti to reach your plate: packaging. This crucial final stage not only protects the pasta, but also ensures its freshness and quality are preserved until it's ready to be enjoyed. But even here, precision is key. Packaging plays a vital role in ensuring it reaches consumers in perfect condition. First, the spaghetti is allowed to cool down fully to avoid any condensation inside the packaging, which could introduce unwanted moisture. Once cooled, the spaghetti strands are either cut to standard lengths or left in their full, long form, depending on the brand and type. The pasta is then placed into bags or boxes designed to keep it airtight and fresh. With the final seal in place, the spaghetti is boxed, labeled, and sent off to stores ready to make its way into kitchens around the world. And there you have it, the incredible journey of spaghetti, from golden wheat fields to the pasta aisle in your local store. Every step in this process, from harvesting to milling, mixing, shaping, drying, and packaging, is a carefully orchestrated series of actions, each with a specific purpose. It's remarkable to think that something as simple as a strand of spaghetti requires so much precision care and quality control. The next time you twirl a forkful of spaghetti, remember that it's not just pasta. It's the product of skilled craftsmanship and centuries of tradition blended with modern technology. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed learning about the process behind one of the world's most beloved foods, don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the origins of everyday favorites. Hit that bell icon to stay updated, and let us know in the comments what other food journeys you'd like us to explore next.